Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, uncovering the secrets of our collective past. Today, we find ourselves at the threshold of a most fascinating tale, one that spans millennia and whispers secrets of human civilization's earliest stirrings. Our destination is the ancient city of Jericho, a place where the whispers of history converge with the rugged beauty of the Near Eastern landscape. In the distant recesses of our shared past, during the epoch known as the pre-pottery Neolithic period, around 10,000 years ago, humanity was undergoing a profound transformation. It was an era marked by the gradual shift from nomadic hunting and gathering to more sedentary forms of existence, where people began to cultivate the land and domesticate animals. In the Fertile Crescent, a region that arcs through modern-day Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, Israel, and parts of Turkey and Egypt, the conditions were ripe for such a transformation. The climate was changing, becoming warmer and more hospitable after the last ice age, allowing for more reliable agricultural outputs and thus supporting larger, more stable populations. It is within this cradle of civilization that Jericho would eventually rise, but before we arrive at its gates, let us consider the people who first inhabited this land. The Natufians, a culture known for their sophisticated hunter-gatherer lifestyles, were among the earliest inhabitants of the region that would one day be home to Jericho. They lived in small villages, constructed from local stone and mud, indicating a level of social complexity and cooperation that was unprecedented at the time. Their diet consisted of wild grains, which they harvested with sickle blades made of flint, as well as a variety of fruits, nuts, and hunted game. The Natufians also demonstrated a profound connection to their deceased, burying them with personal items and sometimes even going so far as to remove and preserve the skulls of their loved ones, practices that speak to a deep reverence for the cycle of life and death. As time progressed, around 9,500 years ago, the pre-pottery Neolithic PPNA period saw the rise of more permanent settlements, with Jericho being one of the most notable examples. The site, located in the Jordan Valley near the Jordan River, would become a beacon of human ingenuity and perseverance. Its early inhabitants began to experiment with agriculture, cultivating wheat, barley, and legumes, and they domesticated animals such as sheep, goats, and cattle. This marked a significant shift towards a food-producing economy, one that would underpin the growth of Jericho into a thriving community. The people of Jericho during this period were skilled craftsmen, producing tools from stone and bone with remarkable precision. They constructed round houses from mud, brick, and wood, sometimes with elaborate stone foundations, demonstrating a high level of architectural sophistication. The presence of communal buildings and sophisticated irrigation systems further underscores the organizational complexity and communal spirit of these early settlers. As the pre-pottery Neolithic, a period gave way to the pre-pottery Neolithic PPNB, around 9,000 years ago, Jericho continued to flourish, its inhabitants pushing the boundaries of what was possible in this nascent urban experiment. The construction of a substantial stone wall, circa 8,500 years ago, marked a significant turning point in the city's development, as it not only provided protection against potential threats, but also symbolized the community's growing complexity and organizational prowess. This impressive barrier, made from undressed stones, some weighing as much as 2 tons, encircled the city, punctuated by towers that stood like sentinels guarding the gates of civilization. Within these fortified walls, Jericho's residents engaged in a vibrant economy, with evidence of trade networks stretching across the Near East. The presence of obsidian tools, originating from as far away as modern-day Turkey, attests to the city's connections with other emerging centers of human habitation. Meanwhile, the inhabitants of Jericho continued to refine their agricultural practices, cultivating crops such as emmer wheat and barley, which were harvested using sickle blades made from flint or bone. The domestication of animals also proceeded apace, with sheep, goats, and cattle providing not only meat but also dairy products and wool. As the centuries passed, Jericho became an exemplar of the Neolithic Revolution's transformative power, its people adapting to the challenges and opportunities presented by their environment. Around 7,500 years ago, during the Yarmoukyan period, The city underwent significant changes, with the introduction of pottery marking a major technological milestone. The production of ceramics facilitated the storage and transportation of goods, further enhancing trade and economic development. Jericho's potters crafted vessels from local clays, often decorating them with intricate designs that reflected the community's growing artistic and cultural sophistication. The discovery of a plastered human skull, dating back to around 7,000 years ago, offers a poignant glimpse into the spiritual practices of Jericho's inhabitants during this period. The skull, found in a building that may have served as a shrine or temple, had been carefully preserved and adorned with shell and stone ornaments, suggesting a deep reverence for the ancestors and the afterlife. As one scholar has noted, the treatment of the dead reflects the values and beliefs of the living, and in Jericho's case, this find underscores the community's strong sense of continuity and connection to their forebears. As the Neolithic period drew to a close, around 6,500 years ago, Jericho entered a new phase of development, characterized by the rise of more complex social hierarchies and specialized labor. The city's architecture became increasingly sophisticated, with the construction of larger, more elaborate buildings that may have served as residences for the community's elite or as centers of ritual and ceremonial activity. The presence of public spaces, such as plazas and courtyards, also suggests a growing emphasis on communal life and social interaction. As the Neolithic period drew to a close, around 6,500 years ago, Jericho entered a new phase of development, characterized by the rise of more complex social hierarchies and specialized labor. The city's architecture became increasingly sophisticated, with the construction of larger, more elaborate buildings that may have served as residences for the community's elite or as centers of ritual and ceremonial activity. The presence of public spaces, such as plazas and courtyards, also suggests a growing emphasis on communal life and social interaction. One of the most significant later events in Jericho's history was its conquest by the Egyptian pharaoh Thutmose III in the 15th century BCE. This marked the beginning of a period of Egyptian dominance over the city, during which time Jericho became an important center for trade and commerce. The Egyptians brought with them new technologies and architectural styles, which had a profound impact on the development of the city. As the centuries passed, Jericho continued to play a significant role in the history of the region. It was conquered by the Assyrians, the Babylonians, and eventually the Persians, each of whom left their mark on the city's culture and architecture. Despite these many conquests, Jericho remained an important center of trade and commerce, with merchants coming from all over the ancient world to buy and sell goods. In more recent times, Jericho has become a symbol of the ongoing conflict between Israelis and Palestinians. The city has been occupied by Israeli forces since 1967, and its rich history and cultural heritage have been a subject of much controversy and debate. Despite these challenges, Jericho remains an important archaeological site, with many significant discoveries still being made today. As one archaeologist has noted, Jericho is a city that has been reborn many times, each time rising from the ashes like a phoenix. This observation highlights the enduring significance of Jericho, not just as a historical site, but as a living, breathing city that continues to evolve and adapt to changing circumstances. Today, Jericho is remembered as one of the oldest continuously occupied cities in the world, with a history that spans over 10,000 years. Its legacy can be seen in the many ancient civilizations that have risen and fallen over the centuries, each leaving their mark on the city's culture and architecture. As the historian Eric H. Klein has observed, Jericho is a testament to the fact that even the most seemingly insignificant places can have a profound impact on the course of human history. This observation underscores the significance of Jericho, not just as a historical site, but as a symbol of the enduring power of human culture and creativity. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that, to understand the present, we must first understand the past.